Interesting because the Bills have a new face in their offense after it feels like really needing it from what we have seen over the last 2 weeks. Titans roller coaster every single week, but what's the matchup that matters here for you, Carmen?
Much in the way that I was talking about Bo Nix, a guy that's right there with him on not being able to push the ball down the field or being inaccurate or, creating turnover worthy plays is Will Levis. And so Will Levis versus pushing the ball down the field is my matchup that matters. On throws of 10 or more yards downfield, he's 18 of 40, 3 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. So again, it's a story of creating more picks than you are production as far as scores go. Um, I need Will Levis. I mean, we're at the part of the season where I know we were joking about like now we know what we're looking at. We do know what we're looking at a little bit more, and this needs to get better if Tennessee is going to stick with Will Levis, and this offense is going to be viable whatsoever. They need to sustain scoring drives. That's something that the Bills do so incredibly well, and you are going to need to try to keep pace with that. And to do that, Will Levis is going to have to push the ball down the field accurately and without turning the ball over. And it's going to need to end in the end zone. I believe the Titans currently ranked 23rd in scoring drive percentage. They're going up against a team that's ranked 6th. So that's the big kind of stat that I honed in on there, where these drives, this offense is just not producing in Tennessee, and you're going to need to do that against the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, I think the Bills can also put a lot of pressure on the Titans if they can run the ball as well as they've been able to this entire season. James Cook obviously missed last game, but Ray Davis and Ty Johnson were right there to pick up where he could not being in that game. And I think the Bills run game versus the Titans run defense is where I'm looking here, because if the Bills can really control this game, control the clock, the time of possession, everything, I think you'll really start to put pressure on Tennessee to hit a lot of those deep shots, but maybe more importantly, attempt a lot of those deep shots, because sure, it can be great for them, but it can also really hurt them, as we have seen through the first couple of weeks of the season. So when you look at the Bills, they're 7th in the NFL right now in team rushing grade. They are 5th in EPA per rush. The Tennessee Titans run defense, they're allowing the 3rd lowest EPA per rush allowed. So that is an area where they are better. But if the Bills can really best that, it's hard to necessarily see the Titans defense slowing them down in a lot of ways. Ray Davis, 4.9 yards per carry average last week when he had 20 carries and 97 yards. But it wasn't just him. Ty Johnson had those only 4 carries, but 34 yards. So it was good. It was an 8.5 yards per carry average. Obviously, Josh Allen and what he could do with his legs can really be a threat as well. So if the Bills can continue to run the ball really well, I think it's just going to be their game to lose against the Titans. And maybe they hit a couple of deep shots, because everything changes if you hit a couple of explosives like that. But it will require the Titans to do that if their run defense cannot step up to this game the way that they have been throughout this point of the season. They're going up against a really good rushing attack. But what's your plus factor in this game?
Unsurprisingly, it's Amari Cooper, to see what he can
Somebody
bring.
Somebody had to bring up Amari Cooper.
Yeah, somebody had to bring up Amari Cooper, who is now a Buffalo Bill. He was obviously being wasted in Cleveland with just not having the production at the quarterback position and not being able to get him the ball effectively. So I think a lot of his stats up until this point, he ranks 67th in PFF grade among wide receivers. I don't expect that to continue. I expect that to go up and up and up with Josh Allen now as his quarterback. So really interested to see what he can bring to this offense. Really interested to see how much, how productive Josh Allen can now be. I mean, we've seen him elevate his receivers. And I do think that the Cooper acquisition was kind of a luxury for the Bills, because I think that they would have been fine given their rushing attack on offense and the fact that they do have some developing wide receivers in that room, in that wideout room. But now you're going to add a veteran. You're going to add a guy that is going to be able to be kind of one of those guys that can really lead the wideout room because it's so young, and a guy that can be immediately productive with Josh Allen. I mean, this is just now really going to put the Bills over the edge, I feel like, and I'm really excited to see it.
Yeah, I'll flip to, I guess, the other side of the trenches in what I was talking about before, where, well, I guess it's the same side of the trenches. I was talking about run defense with the Titans, but I think pass rush is the X factor in this one, because the Titans just straight up have not been good at pass rush so far this season. They're 30th in pass rush win percentage as a team. They're very last in pressures. Harold Landry is the only player with more than 10 pressures. He only has 14 as well. There's only one player, it's Arden Key, with a pass rush win percentage in double digits above 10%. So it's just been tough sledding for this Titans team to be able to get pressure every single week. And Look, if you let Josh Allen sit there, the longer the longer he has the ball in his hands, it feels like the worse it's going to be for the defense. And so if you're really not able to bring him pressure, not that he's been bad under pressure throughout his career, but he was surprisingly bad against pressure 2 weeks ago. And so that still is a recipe, even for some of the best quarterbacks, to rattle him, get him off rhythm and all that. So I just feel like if the Titans cannot have a good day at the office when it comes to pass rushing, like dead last numbers in the NFL, I mean, it's just going to get you carved up. I again think that the way that the Bills run the football, if they're able to even do that at an even rate with going up against a good run defense team in the Titans, if you can't get after Josh Allen, it's going to, going back to kind of what I was saying, it's going to demand even more so that you hit some of those crazy long shots. And do you even want to be attempting all those throughout the game? I think we'll see in this one, but it feels like we're both kind of leaning Bills in this game.